lap, the lap that would have been, good enough to put us on the pole, there was a crash. So I didn't cross the start-finish line in time before they put the red flag. So the team calls me in. I have my 3 first laps were just kind of warm up. So we are, I think, 18th. We're nowhere. And so now, by the time they fix the crash, by the time they get the car back to the pit lane that is damaged, we're sitting in the box, and the engineer has to decide what to do. So I know there's 4 spare tires ready to go again on the race car. And he was going to put them on because we wanted to have the best lap possible. But one of the mechanics and the tire guy, the guy that does tire pressure and tire temperature, looks at the tires and he realizes that the wear is not very high. And so he takes his little tire wear gauge and he measures it. And he goes to the engineers and tells them that the tires are quite good. And he told them that because I was on the track doing easy lap. And the track there has really long straightaways, and before you get loaded in the corner, you're doing long straightaways, the lap is long, so we didn't really damage the tires that much. So because he had that pieces of information, he said, Alex, we're going to keep the tires on the car, and then we're going to keep the fuel the way it is. So we're not going to refuel you and put you just 5 gallons. We're going to keep the fuel because the tires are going to be warm, and you're going to have 1 lap, because we're at the end of the session. If he would have put new tires and refueled the car, I would have had to go out and bonsai a lap, and with very little chances to do the best lap possible. But because he kept warm tires and he didn't refuel the car, so the car was light, I went out, I crossed the timing line, and I did 1 lap, and he put us on the front row. This particular instance shows you that the engineer is the guy that calls the shots. He's the guy that's going to say, we're going to put new tires. He's the guy that's going to say, we're going to put fuel in the car. What do you need? Front wing? No. We're going to just drop the tire pressure. But because he allowed, and not a lot of teams allow that, because they just want the guys to do their job. So take the tire pressure, take the tire temperature, measure the tire wear, bring a sheet on the table. That's good piece of information. But when you have to just think fast, and then you're in your last 5 minutes of qualifying, and then you have to basically call the shot to say, how are we going to release the car to go back on the track? You're better listening to people that normally have no business to come and talk to you, but if they're willing to give you pieces of information and they're welcome to interact with you, then they give you the right information that you need to take the good decision and to do the right call. And, I'm not the only one that implements that in our team, but I think what's made us, this year as a first-year team, kind of like having really high expectation and surprising a lot of people in IndyCar with the performance we have been doing. And I think it's just relating to chemistry, team structure, the way we work together. That's the only way. I mean, there's teams out there that are spending $40 million a year, and they've been in IndyCar for 10 years and never won a race, never qualified on the front row, things like that, just because, there's a lot of clash, and it's very easy to have like a little bit of ego in a business where it's driven by success every single weekend. Like you're working during the week at the shop, you're working during the weekend to make the car fast, and then the result is about on the racetrack. And then there's up and downs, there's a lot of emotions, and if you don't control that and you don't give everybody an opportunity to work as a team, it will take you forever and all the money in the world to try to buy yourself success. So that's what I learned in the world of motorsport, and I'm hoping that today my speech helped you realizing what our world is a little bit. It's a very mysterious sport, and that's why it's very fun to invite people in the paddock and in the pit lane and in our team to allow them to live, like live, a race weekend. Unfortunately, you can't buy yourself a hockey equipment and go feel, what racing is, on the track. You basically have to come with us and live it. But I invite you all to do that one day, and you'll learn even more And to finish, I'll give you a little story, a little quick, fun story. My dad, one day for his birthday, I decided to get him on a 2-seater ride. It's an Indy car that's about 5 seconds a lap slower. And, always wanted to feel what it was. And after the ride, he hated me for a little bit. But it's, he had like a little blood vessel bust in his eye. And he was sick for a week, I think, and my mom told me. But, we went out in Montreal on the Gilles Villeneuve racetrack, and the first time I hit the brake, he just basically like felt what it was to get the blood rushed into his legs. He didn't really like it, so he was lightheaded, and I gave them, 3 laps of hell. And I don't even know if he saw where we were going or where we were for a while. He didn't, appreciate that. But to his defense, he stayed, awake. And in Cleveland, I did a little promotion where this little girl was doing like, fitness training on TV in the morning. And so she was the guest of the series to get a ride around the Cleveland Lakeburg Front Airport. So poor girl, she's fit, and she thought this was a toy. So she was not so stressed and very relaxed, and her heart rate was probably like mine, very, very low. And so when she got in the car, I went out, flat out to the end of the straightaway, and when I hit the brake, basically her heart rate was so low that when the blood rushed through her legs, she literally passed out. So for 3 laps, I was hearing boom, 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 boom. So I tried to look in my mirrors and see what's happening, like is she knocking on the tub or what she's doing? And so she has like a button in the back, and if she's scared or something's wrong, she hits the button, and like our engineers put like a little message on our wheel, so it's passenger shits in his pants. But it's just, we would have to slow down, no matter if that's kind of funny. But she didn't press the button because she was out, so I do 3 laps and, bang, 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 bang. And then when I stop, I see everybody comes around, so I unbuckle myself, I get out of the car, and she's like this in the car. And so, she wakes up, and I say, so how's the ride? She looks at me with no answer, so I say, yeah, we just did 3 laps around Cleveland. It's pretty fast track, so you didn't see anything. And so this is, like what all cars are capable of doing, and they're very fast, they're very fun, but, they're not for everyone. And if you have the chance to see a race live, you'll understand, like the speed and what these cars are capable of doing. Watching a car going from 200 miles an hour to 50 in about 2 seconds is quite impressive. So anyway, hopefully one day you'll have the chance to see it live, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about my passion, and have a great day.